Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Can't Teach Size. My name is Brady. Of course, I'm joined here by my co-host Lyss. Lyss, how are you doing this fine Sunday evening?
I'm going, man. I'm going. How about you?
Uh, Living the dream. What were you up to today? How's your weekend been?
My weekend has just been answering emails and dealing with things as they come up from the emails that I've answered. So, not a ton of fun. I did go to two parties last night though, which is
Whoa.
like the most unlike I think in the last like 8 months I've probably gone to two parties in total. And then yesterday I went to two in one night, so I was like, wow, pretty crazy of me. So, and then today, Sunday football, answering emails, dealing with things as they come up from the emails. So, lots of work, but I had a couple of good long nights of sleep this weekend because I didn't have a ton of like stuff. So that was great. How
Hell
about you?
yeah.
How was your weekend?
Pretty good. Yesterday, I kind of bummed around for a decent amount of the day. But then I also had a first beer league game in like a couple weeks. Had a new stick. Was
Ooh.
excited to try it out. We ended up winning, so that was a lot of fun. And then had a little brunch with friends today. Went out and for
Yeah.
like 30 to 40 minutes just ran around trying to catch leaves as they fell off of trees. I don't know why we did this, but that's what happens when you go on a walk and then just get bored and start running around trying to catch leaves as they fall down. But
Like 2 years ago, on or when we were still on school in campus, I remember I was going home from school with my carpool group, and we were stopped at a four-way like stop, and we were a couple cars behind, and there was this little kid like on one of the corners, and we literally laughed for like 30 minutes after we drove past this kid. He was raking leaves and putting them into like a shopping cart, but they were just like falling out of the holes in the shopping cart. This kid was like raking them
no.
up as they fell, but he was like 12 too. It's not like he was like 4 and dumb. Like this kid like definitely should have known what he was doing. Like he
Oh.
was just like and he was just going along doing his thing and it was the funniest thing ever. Like there's just something so funny about even like watching my dad like go through the whole yard with his lawnmower, like his riding lawnmower with the bags in the
Mhm.
back and picking up the leaves and then like you wake up the next morning and you know, more leaves have fallen on the ground and I'm like, man,
Yeah, yeah, I get
fall.
that.
What can you do?
The other thing I did last night, which is a good segue, was I watched the Hockey Night in Canada game, Jets versus Leafs.
Boo. Boo.
Man, that was a brutal game. We'll get into the the officiating. But how did you think at least the Jets played? Other than we'll get into the officiating. But just the Jets on their own, I think we got to talk about how they played too.
They're
How
stinky. They were stinky. They were flat. Like they're just but they're not that good. Like I don't know. Like I didn't think there was anything too crazy. I will preface though that so again, my parties that I was at last night, right? Because this is a whole thing. One of them was at like Tavern United, one of the Canadians venues. And it was about 30 minutes from my house. So I was like, what I'll do is I'll leave with like 5, 10 minutes left in the second, drive through the rest of the second and the intermission so I can get there in time to watch the third. So I missed the end of the second period, which is like when all that
no.
crazy stuff happened. So I got there and I was like, oh my God, anarchy. Like, what did I miss? So I started scrolling through Twitter, watching videos, and I was like, oh my God, not this again.
It was, man, what a game. I'll say this. I'm very glad that my girlfriend and her sister were not in the house while the game was going on because I was screaming like a madman at my television. Um, yeah, I don't know. The Jets just kind of are. Yeah, I think flat is a great way to describe it. They just can't, for a team that's considered like their identity is fast paced offense creating. They don't create a lot of offense and they don't seem that fast paced. So like, what are they? They're just a goalie and a bunch of guys in front of him. I'm glad to see that the second line is starting to click a little bit better. PLD is playing a lot better. Wheeler seems to be doing a lot better in his reduced role. Perfetti, great vision on the one goal the Jets scored. Um,
Good job diving though,
oh
right?
God, jeez, we'll get into that. Oh
We'll
my
get into
God.
it.
Oh my God. um, in fear, I just brought up a lot of feelings I had today. Um, but yeah, like the Jets really need to switch up the lines. Like as much as it's good to see, that second line starting to click, like Shifley and Connor together, just without Ehlers, like I don't know, it just seems like they aren't able to create, and even with Ehlers, it just like it seems like no one really knows what their role is on that line. At least like when Blake Wheeler was on that line before, it was like very clearly like Blake Wheeler's the passer and these two guys are the shooters. Whereas I
Hmm.
think you're starting to get a little bit of diminishing returns with having all three of your best players on one line. Because it's just like there's not enough puck touches for everyone to go around. There's not enough puck for everyone. So I don't know,
Totally, yeah.
but
No, I'm still a very big believer in running the pairs
yeah,
and running with your Shifley Ehlers as a pair and your Dubois Connor as a pair, and then
absolutely.
slotting in your other guys where it makes sense. Perfetti being one of them, and then Guy being the other one. I don't really care.
Like Appleton
Brad Lambert,
seems like he
Appleton
could.
could be fine. I don't care. Yeah, exactly.
Even Sam Gagne could potentially jump up. Like, and then
Oh
at
yeah.
very worst, like fucking put Blake Wheeler up there. Who cares?
No,
Like,
honestly, yeah. If it
it's
works, it works. I don't care.
yeah, but okay. I'm sorry. I love talking about the Jets, but I think we have to go to the officiating immediately. Like, what?
Yeah, like I want to preface this with saying the better hockey team who played a better hockey
Yes,
game still won that game. And
ab-
we know that. That being said, yikes.
boy did the Leafs get that game served up to them on a silver platter. Oh my goodness. I actually have written down here the sequence of events of
Yeah,
bad
because it was a big sequence. That's exactly what it is. Like one thing after another, just
uh
nut bar.
of all the bad calls that were in the game. And there are a couple here on the Leafs like that were like bad calls that were missed for in favor of the Leafs, because I think that it's fair to mention those. But I'll just go down the line. So Jets are on a power play, and the Leafs are breaking out, and Josh Morrissey is backing up, and on the blue line he collides with Calle Yarncroc and gets an interference call. If you watch this play, again, Morrissey is skating backwards. He's staring forward at the puck in the play that's coming towards him. Calle Yarncroc is skating across the blue line in order to stay on side. They bump each other, and Morrissey gets an interference call. Pretty bad. Like, I get it, I guess, but there's no intention there. Like, Morrissey didn't see the guy. So then that, of course, leads to, the tying goal that the Leafs do have. Also, like I said, I'm going to be rolling through this, so if you want to jump in, cut me off. Feel free.
I do
Um,
think we could start with the possible missed call on Marner from that
that's
DeMello hit earlier
that's
in the game.
that's the next one. So then immediately
Oh, didn't
after,
that happen?
no, it
Oh,
was after. I made sure I went through the timeline of
I see.
events.
Okay,
Uh,
but then there was a penalty that came first. Didn't Yarncroke get a penalty that was a good call at the beginning of the game?
I can't
You
remember
got
because
a
because
Leafs player got an interference penalty
yes, yeah,
early.
because there was the initial call that put the Jets on the power play, because the Morrissey
Yes.
call ended up being what like negated the power play, and then also gave the Leafs a power play after at the end of once their guy got out of the box, and then they scored on that power
Oh,
play.
it was a bunting interference that I'm talking about. That was
Right.
the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
that was a fine call.
Yeah. And then so yeah, as you said, as you alluded to before, then you have DeMello who boards Mitch Marner partially from behind, but that one I would say is just a typical boarding call. Should have been 2 minutes for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
the call to me, and again, I'm always biased, right? Because I'm watching it from the everyone's complaining about my guy. Let me see what he didn't do wrong. And two things I will say is one, it always looks worse when the visor cuts the face and someone's bleeding up a storm. It always looks
yeah,
worse. So that gets people up in a tizzy when Mitch Marner's little face is all bloody. Okay, yeah. To me, I never like, and this might sound insensitive, but I don't like it when when the injury as a result on the call. Like
yeah.
when and so in that case it didn't, which is fine. Like I hate it if a guy starts, like if
But
there are plays that are extremely dangerous where no one luckily gets hurt that should be called more than sometimes when it's just like a freak accident and someone does.
right, but either way, like that should have been a boarding call on DeMello, like
Yeah,
for
no,
sure.
and that was the other thing I was gonna say was yeah, like the way Marner kind of like turns there, it's like yeah, maybe I don't know, like so I
He
understand when
turns,
people
but
are
it's
like
still
he
on DeMello
turns.
to make sure not to hit him like that.
To hit
Like
him in the numbers like that. No, absolutely. So that one to me, yeah, should have been 2 minute boarding call. Like I don't think that it was like a malicious
no,
intent play or anything like that. Like I think it was just a
a
board
boarding. Yeah,
by a
absolutely.
defenseman. So, but should have been called. I agree.
So then fast forward a bit, there is a completely obviously missed hook where Marner hooks Wheeler. And
Yeah,
also I would suggest anyone,
do this
we
thing.
we can't show anything on YouTube or anything like that. I would suggest going to at Tic Tac Tomar on Twitter. He has a majority of these gift So just go down his media and you'll be able to
With
see a
some,
majority of them.
really unbiased captions on them.
Yeah. Well, we can mention that too. But to be fair, this one he even posted this one. He's like, "LOL, that's totally not a penalty," or something, or "LOL, that's totally a penalty," or something like that, and it wasn't
Yeah.
called. Next, you have Wayne Simmons, who interferes Mason Appleton, which then leads to a really nice play that Wayne Simmons does, a really nice pass through the legs, but
That
like
pass was
backwards.
so nice.
It was such a nice pass, but coming into the zone, he completely knocks Appleton over. Like, if I don't think it's the I can see why that one would have not been called, but again, going back to the Morrissey interference, absolutely, especially considering that led to a chance. Like, I think it is important to understand like who gets an advantage out of what a play happens, you know. And like this game made it so that the Leafs had like a complete 2-on-1, 3-on-1. I don't know exactly what it was, but then it leads to a goal. So that's two messed up calls that lead to goals for the Leafs. Then in the second period, Morgan Barron kind of rushes the net after a play, which then a scrum ensues. And this kind of is where the pushing and shoving and the temperature definitely elevates a lot. No penalties really should have been there. I just think it's important to mention. And then we have the Nick Robertson, Josh Morrissey hit interference, and then the fight with Morgan Rielly. So what the call on the ice was here. So basically, puck rims around the right side of the ice. Nick Robertson goes to try and play the puck, reaches out, gets a stick on it, and then Morrissey just blows him up. Which, honestly, clean hit. Like, I'm watching it. The penalty that Morrissey ended up getting was interference, but Nick Robertson
Which would ensue that Nick Robertson didn't touch the puck.
Exactly. Like, and to be fair, like if Nick Robertson didn't play the puck, then sure, yeah, I would totally understand that. So that's my first issue, is that is not interference for Josh Morrissey. That's a joke. Second of all, and this is one I think that got really overlooked. So immediately after the big hit, what happens in the NHL when someone lays a big hit, even if it's clean, gloves come off, guys start fighting to stick up for their guys. So Morgan Rielly, tosses the gloves off, the 244s go at it, and they both get sent to the box. Of course, Morrissey has the 2 for interference, 5 for fighting. Morgan Rielly has 5 for fighting and 2 for unsportsmanlike. Have you ever heard of the penalty instigator? The instigator penalty? Do you know what this is? And
yes.
just to be clear here, I'm not just doing this for semantics, saying, oh, it should have been titled this. Instigator also...
It's not semantics because it has the misconduct with it.
Exactly. When you get called an instigator penalty, you get 2 minutes as like a timed penalty that's against your team, and 10 minutes where the player has to sit for a misconduct, which, this is that penalty is literally for cases like this, where someone blows a guy up, another guy takes exception to it, throws his gloves off, and goes to beat the crap out of someone. Obviously, Josh Morrissey's going to fight back because you're not just going to let a guy, pound on you. And
unless you're Zach Cassian with our Zach guy, but kidding.
Yeah. But like,
no, but okay, here's my thing. So I'm going to go on a little bit of, not an analogy, but like a comparison here. So, when people, say this is a different game between different teams, Winnipeg Jets score on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it gets reviewed for goalie interference. And the refs decide, okay, yes, it was goalie interference, no goal, game goes on. It's like, okay, you decided it was goalie interference. That means that someone from the Winnipeg Jets should be getting a penalty for this because you decided that this goal was disallowed for this reason. To me, it's like, okay, you decided that Morgan Rielly was going to get a penalty in this situation. That means that he instigated, right? It's not like it would be one thing if they're like, oh, there was nothing wrong with this to not give him the instigator penalty. They gave him the wrong penalty. They saw fit to punish him, and they gave him the wrong one.
That's exactly it. Like that's the thing is if you're not going to give him an instigator penalty, don't give him anything at all. Like if
exactly
either that's an instigator or it's nothing. And like I don't understand how you can just as a ref decide, you know what? I don't think it's worth giving him the 10-minute misconduct. So you know what? We're just going to give him an unsportsmanlike. Like what are...
Right.
The
'Cause it's like
rule
it's a hook, a trip, or a hold. No one cares. 2 minutes, whatever. Like, if you're doing some weird stats keeping and you really need to know, who cares? Whatever. This is a completely different situation. It changes the outlook of the game entirely.
Absolutely. So that was a joke to start with, and then we come to the pivotal part that everyone is losing their mind on, and rightfully so. Rasmus Sandin hits Cole Perfetti in the numbers from behind. There's no way that you can look at this as anything other than a hit from behind. Like, it's not boarding, it's a hit from behind. There was Cole Perfetti didn't turn. He's in behind the net. He's looking left. Puck comes to him. Sandin comes from the right and just clobbers him right in the numbers. No regard. Like,
And 6 inches from the board, so there's no even room to dive.
no.
Dude feels contact on his back and falls forward because that's how physics
Well,
works.
it's not he fell forward. He was pushed. Like,
Yeah,
he was
no.
pushed in the back and
Yeah.
he's already leaning forward. Like, there was people saying he flopped, and that's just Leafs bias. And again, like,
It has to be. It has to be.
we'll acknowledge that we're Jets fans and that we have a Jets bias in this. Absolutely. But even Steve Dangle, he even was like, that's it. Like, Jets fans are rightfully pissed off about this. Like, that's a joke. And then, so what happens then? Of course, just like we said before, a guy gets clobbered, a bad hit. What happens? Your teammates come in to defend you, which in this case, absolutely. I don't mind what Pierre-Luc Dubois did. He comes in,
No.
roughs up Sandin a little bit. It's not like he fought him or punched him, but he grabs him from behind, kind of in his gets his glove in his face, gives him a little bit of a face wash. And the most ridiculous part of this is that at the end of this play, they completely miss the penalty on Cole Perfetti, where Sandin hits him from behind, and they call Pierre-Luc Dubois for roughing. Like, what? How do you watch this play and determine that the Leafs should get a power play out of this? It's
No, it was gross.
absolutely bonkers. Like,
It was just frustrating too that it was Rasmus Sandin, right? Because people are still so bent out of shape of this game from fucking 10 months ago
yeah,
that we're also crying about that happened in Winnipeg when the Logan Stanley, the Wayne Simmons, the whatever, when Rasmus Sandin, the knee on knee with Neil Pionk, and then, we can't forget that Jason Spezza comes out and takes off Neil Pionk's head and whatever.
yeah.
Anyways, that it's Rasmus Sandin and everyone still thinks that, these teams need to be out for blood with each other when in reality they're in different divisions and no one gives a shit. Like, who cares? Why are we still crying about this?
I think there is animosity between the two teams. Like,
There is, but yeah.
as a fan, I do, like, I came into this game fired up. I was excited to watch it because I knew that it was going to be a good tilt between the two teams. But, like, how do you put such poor refs in this game? Like, I just don't understand how the officiating was so bad. Like,
And shout out my internet crush, Mikey Stevens. He always is so consistent with coming out with being like, how can we not question the refs after these games? And I fully agree.
mhm.
These people just get completely let off with, there's no question whatsoever. And it's like, I don't know, like, I get it, it's their jobs and so whatever, but it's like, it's literally dangerous when they don't do their jobs
Yeah.
properly. So, like, I feel like they need to be held accountable for it. And if it's through media questioning the same way that other professionals in the sport get questioned, like, I'm all for it.
And he got ratioed on Twitter because he was like, I think that Sandin hit, like, deserves like a 10-minute, like a 2 and a 10. Like, that's brutal. Like, and he got ratioed for it, which is crazy. And again, like, I feel like a lot of Leafs fans play both sides of the, like,
The league is out to get us.
the league is out to get us, but then also like
The league would be nothing without us.
But no, sorry, no. They play both sides in the sense of, like, they'll be like, it's crazy that people, like, I can't believe that Sportsnet showed John Tavares' injury over and over again. But then they're also gonna be like, I've seen people being like, oh man, Rasmus Sandin is an absolute assassin. Like, was an actual tweet I saw. Like,
A good way, and it's like,
don't get me wrong. I'm very glad that Cole Perfetti didn't get hurt, and I do think that Sportsnet shouldn't have shown the John Tavares injury over and over and over again. But, like, you just can't play both sides of it. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, no, it's weird, and I think the thing that's just the most frustrating of it all is that Fans who can't check their own biases and then proceed to argue with everyone on the internet when they're so inconsistent is just so annoying to try and like, because you're just seeing it and you're getting frustrated. And it's like you need to be able to acknowledge that you are so clearly biased against your or in favor of your favorite team. And like we all know it,
Mhm.
but those who don't are the most irritating ones on the entire face of the planet. It's like, oh my God. Like check
Yeah.
yourself for a second. I beg.
Yeah, I want to get to Pierre-Luc Dubois' quote after the game here. I
Oh
guess we
yeah.
can kind of move forward. Last thing I'll say, just to finish off the bad calls, there was then also a really shitty makeup call that Wayne Simmons just like bumped Mark Scheifele after the whistle. And then Scheifele turns around and slashes him or cross checks him like pretty hard. And then they give Wayne Simmons an unsportsmanlike. Like, again,
Real, I didn't see that. That's so funny.
it's
Oh
it
my
was
God.
it
Like
was
that's trash. That's
it
garbage.
was really dumb. And like I said, I wanted to mention that just to be fair to Leafs fans, because and I'm sure that there were ones that I missed here that were in like that I should have mentioned on the Leafs side of things. But yeah. Anyways, garbage officiating, awful. One thing I also despise is that players and also coaches can't talk honestly about what just happened. So again, going to the Pierre-Luc Dubois, I think we all kind of saw the quote that came out that where he said, "I don't want to get fined." I think it's important also to read the entire quote. So picture this Pierre-Luc Dubois saying this. I'm going to say it also in the cadence that he said it to, with pauses and whatever. And just picture a face of complete disdain. So
Method acting. I like it.
here goes the quote. So he gets asked the question: "Where did the game turn for you?" "Well, it's hard to pinpoint. That second goal obviously hurts. Appy gets, yeah, that second goal." So very clearly understands that he's mentioning where Appleton gets interfered with, and then
Because it
Simmons.
was on the ensuing power play, right?
No, that was the goal
What?
where
David
Appleton.
Camp goal?
Yeah, that was the David Camp goal where Appleton was coming back, gets pushed over by Simmons, and then they
Oh,
have.
yes, 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 yes. My bad, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
then
then the 3-on-1. Yeah.
exactly,
Ignore
yeah.
me.
And then there's a follow-up question that comes up. So it was, "Well, all of the emotions, calls don't go your way. How difficult is it to manage?" And then he responds with, "Well, it's something that we're kind of used to. I don't go at their guy if he doesn't hit Perfetti from behind. That's the second goal. Appy, yeah, I don't want to get fined." like the fact that twice that this guy is just trying to answer the question that reporters are asking him, and twice has to stifle himself to just go, "I don't want to have to give up $2,500 or whatever it is just to be like, to say what we're all thinking."
Just speak my mind for a quote that we all understand already. Yeah.
Like, it's a joke. And like, what, I gotta like shout out to the Hurricanes whenever it was when Brendan Moore like absolutely just
Yes.
roasted the officiating, got a fine, and then the Hurricanes were like, "We'll pay this." Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think we need to
Yeah.
see more in that, and I feel like we need more
Totally.
transparency. Like,
No,
it's
like I feel like we've seen so much of like the league doesn't care about its like teams and players, like they're just trying to protect their own self, and that I feel like falls into the category of the reffing, where it's like they exist in a bubble because a critique of the reffing is a critique of the game, and God forbid, right? So it's like I feel like there's a little bit of that goes on there too.
But yeah, and like if you look at like the NBA does, I think it's called like the 2 minute report, where they explain every single call in the last 2 minutes of the game. Like the refs come out and say, like, I'm not saying that we necessarily need to have some sort of like, interview reporter to the officials, because then officials aren't made for that. They haven't been given that training or whatever.
Media
But there
training, yeah, no, I get that.
but there needs to be some sort of accountability for it. Like there needs to be some sort of way for like either the refs to put out some sort of statement on it, sort of mention it. Again, it's only what, game 5, 6 of the season. It doesn't really matter at this point. But to every sports fan, like what are people going to the game for? Is a sellout crowd. What are people paying their money for? If there's no like consistency, what are we doing here?
Yeah, no, it's definitely frustrating. And I also will say, again, checking our own biases, right? Like Pierre-Luc Dubois, favorite hockey player in the NHL. I also think that if you gave me like you said, hey, Alyssa, I'll give you $20 if you go in a room with him alone, and in 5 minutes you have to make him like start swinging for the fences. Like I feel like that man has such a short temper,
Oh
and he
yeah.
just goes absolutely ballistic when it's like you don't always need to. So like in that situation, like I'm okay with him going nuts, but I also do think that he goes nuts like that in situations where he doesn't always have to. In
Yeah.
that
Oh,
case, I'm
absolutely.
fine with it. But like knowing the player, I'm kind of like, "Ugh, man, like come on."
But I also
But
wish
yeah.
that he would have just said it. Like I just wish he would have been like, tonight
No,
was a joke.
in the post game thing, totally fine with that. I meant more like in the game
Oh
when
yeah,
he just
absolutely.
yeah.
Oh,
He because he goes nut bar more than other people, and I'm like, dude, come
he
on.
he takes too many penalties. But regardless, that's a penalty I'm fine with him taking. I think you need
Yeah.
to step up for your teammate. But anyways, yeah. Like I
But I also do think it's dumb that I get it that pro sports are like this, and people are always gonna call me like a, soft or snowflakey or whatever, word of the day you want to use. But I also think it's absolutely insane that in a professional sport that you need to take it upon yourself to officiate the game and handle the game when people can't do their job when that's literally what they're there for. Like I understand
yeah,
like situations like this where like the call will come but they still want to like make them pay for it or whatever. But there are times when guys will literally come out like for example like Jason Spezza coming out to go take off Neil Pionk's head last year whatever. It's like why like I disagree with that so
yeah.
strongly because injuring other players is not something I support. But like the fact that other teams feel the need to do that because the refs can't do their jobs is a huge issue.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a safety issue. It's the this game would not have gotten so out of hand had the refs one called the penalty on DeMello for Marner. Like
Yep.
who knows? Like the Perfetti thing could have been, oh well, I let that one go, so I've set a standard where apparently you can just hit people from behind and board people.
Right,
Um,
which could have gotten so much worse, and thank God it didn't.
and even when they set a standard, they don't stick to it. Going back to
Oh
the
God, yeah.
weak interference call on Morrissey and then calling nothing on Simmons to Appleton. Like I don't know, it was just brutal all around. I That was maybe one of the worst officiated games I think I've ever seen in the NHL history. Obviously, it's gonna strike a core further with me as a Jets fan, but oh man, that was tough to watch. Like that was
Just the funniest
brutal.
thing. I'm gonna read to you a tweet,
Oh
super
boy.
quick, and then we can move on.
Yeah, true.
And I'm gonna use the words. Okay, pick two cities for me. Not
Me?
Montreal or sorry, not Winnipeg or Toronto.
Vancouver and Edmonton.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna use Vancouver and Edmonton. Tell me which you think is which in this case. So here it is. I'm listening to the game on a Vancouver radio broadcast, and these guys are practically in tears, devastated by how unfair and unjust the officiating has been. Edmonton, obviously, gets all the breaks, always. Which
I
team in that circumstance is Winnipeg and which is Toronto? Because I
I
literally couldn't even tell you.
I
Both could apply.
I saw this tweet.
Oh,
I
man.
know which tweet you're talking about. I can't remember who it was, but
I don't know who the guy is either. It's just a person.
oh, um, I'm listening on a Winnipeg broadcast and they're losing their minds. Toronto always gets all the breaks, right? Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's like you could literally have flipped the words because listening to national broadcast, they were also saying the same thing about Winnipeg. It's like, can we not just accept for a second that the refing was just like bad and like they're not out to get your special team because they're so amazing or like no,
I think
they don't care.
I
Like
think the
they just suck at their
majority
job.
I think the majority of people were like that was a poorly refed game. I think it's only the dumb ones. And also I think there's a level of um going back to what I was saying about playing both sides of the coin where like I know that there are Leafs fans who were like, yeah, Sandy, great, hit him, like get him, like, and also at the same time understand that like they understand it's wrong, like that
Yeah.
shouldn't have happened, and that they would on the other side be upset, but it didn't happen that way, and they're just like, whatever, I'm having fun with it. So, you
And
know,
which is fine as long as you don't, reply when someone criticizes you with like no airport, no fans ratio. Haha, you suck. Like,
well,
okay.
that again, that's just them playing into it. Oh, everything's comedy. They can't ever lose any sort of
Yeah.
argument. But
And they're like, dude,
anyways,
it's not that serious. And then someone's like 1967 and they're like, what is wrong with you? Come on. Like, so anyways,
anyways, we can move
that's
on
enough.
now. We're sorry for spending like half an hour on the Jets, but that game
Half an
deserved.
hour on the Leafs too.
You know
So
what? And well, true, and half an hour on officiating because that was brutal. Anyways, what are we talking about next here, Liz? I can't remember which it was. Are we doing Oilers
we
now?
thought we would just yeah move on to some other league stuff, and we thought we'd start with the Oilers because might as well tackle all my least favorite teams at once while we have the chance. So but yeah, a couple different things going on in Oilers Nation in the last couple days, weeks need to start by just mentioning shout out St. Louis, who I hate just a little bit less than the other two teams you talked about. Shutting out Edmonton. Thanks,
Hell yeah.
guys. Love that. Shout
That's
out.
so good.
Uh,
It's always fun to see the Oilers get shut out. In one of
so
my
fun.
in one of my fantasy leagues, Ian Tulloch has Connor McDavid on his team, and a couple nights ago he just does the like start active players thing at the start of the week, and so he comes into our chat and he's just like, "Why the hell is McDavid on my bench when like I don't know who it was. It was like Mark Scheifele or some other centerman was playing instead was in his starting lineup instead of him. He's like, why would
Okay.
Yahoo start him? This is on Thursday. Saturday rolls around and he didn't go ahead to check that on Saturday McDavid was in the lineup. So everyone was like, we were talking amongst ourselves being like, is he going to let this happen again? And then finally, as soon as the game starts, then they're locked into their positions. We're like, it's official. Ian has once again left Connor McDavid on his bench. Luckily for him, he got like 0.6 points for getting like 3 shots on
Block or
goal.
something.
Yeah, I don't know,
Oh, word.
but but yeah, very funny that he got lucky and didn't miss out on a like hat trick or something like that, like I did with Joe Pavelski. Shout out Joe Pavelski.
Shout out Joe Pavelski.
But I won my
King.
all my matchups this week, so I'm not complaining.
I'll go check. I probably lost all of them.
The other thing, okay, that we forgot to touch on this. This came out earlier in the season. We have to talk about the Oilers are just price gouging their fans in every way possible. They're trying to get every single dime out of them. First, we'll talk about Oilers Plus. Do you have the like information on Oilers Plus in front of you by chance?
Like the specifics? No, I don't.
Okay, so I do, luckily. So basically Oilers Plus is like an app that they were sending out to their fans and also a subscription. So basically it's like a, this is exactly okay, so this is what their press release in about Oilers Plus includes. So Oilers Plus provides fans exclusive access to live feeds every time Oilers players, coaches, and management step up to the mic, live and pre and post live pre and post game shows before and after every Oilers game, an exclusive behind the scenes series that provides an all access pass to the hockey club, live practice coverage with regular check-ins at home and on the road, special features, highlights, archival content, and lifestyle programming. Lyss, do you know how much this costs a month to be an Oilers Plus subscriber?
Okay. I don't. I'm gonna say so. I just subscribed to Paramount Plus the other day because I needed to get some more CBS NFL access, and it was like $7 a month. And I was like, you know what? I can watch some iCarly when I'm feeling sad. 90210 is on there. Love that. Frasier, Cheers. $7 a month. Sure, I'll do it. I'm hoping to God it's less than that.
Just give me a number. You gotta tell me a number. Tell me what your guess is.
My guess is that since you're asking this question, it's something stupid.
Just
So I'll say like $12 a month.
okay. Well, you did the thing where you ruined it by guessing too high. It is $8.99.
Yeah, that's a mess.
It is $8.99 for like let's be honest here. A majority of this content is stuff that like I know, for example, the Jets do for free. Most teams do for free. Live feeds anytime Oilers players, coaches, and management step up to the mic. Like what? Behind the scenes
It's on
stuff.
Facebook Live, bro.
Like I don't understand. Oh, pre and post game shows. Like what?
In my work group chat, we were talking about it a little bit, and one of the Oilers guys was like, "Yeah, I bit in, man. I subscribed." And the first thing that came out was just like a 7-minute like highlight reel from goals from last season. And I was like, dude, give me an hour on iMovie on my MacBook and I'll do the same thing for free.
Dude, just search on YouTube. Like people make those for free all the time.
I know.
Like like don't get me wrong, I understand trying to like if they were actually doing some really interesting fun behind the scenes stuff, but like for example, the past 2 games for the Jets, like we got treated to bar down content where like they were doing like, oh, like which on the team is most like this, and they were like that was 2 intermissions worth of content that they just gave out for free. And I know Bar Down did it, but obviously they gave them permission to speak with the Jets. Like I just don't. I get it. I understand, but it's just like you have fans. Like, what's the point of trying to gouge them so much for this? And they also have the Oilers have like a history of this. Remember, like a couple seasons ago when they were like standing room only tickets,
Oh yeah.
but like they don't. It's not like they're like at the ice games where like if you stand on the tops of you can see down. Like I think it was like you would stand in the concourse and just be in the arena.
Yeah, no, it's like, and I just think it's also like from Canadian market to Canadian market. Like, I definitely like they got the reverse retros this week too. I'm sure they're charging $350 for them. Like, it's not like they're getting everything for dirt cheap and it's like inexpensive stuff or like they're just having like a new thing. They're just trying to get as much money from them in literally every aspect of the things as they can. Like, hopefully they're not overcharging them for concessions, are they?
Wow, great great segue. So yeah, and then this came out like a couple, like maybe a week or so ago. Where is it? I have it here. Oh no, did I lose it? Oh no.
Well,
I
I'll
had
tell
oh
you, you know when you go to Cineplex and it's like, here are the things. You bought your nice little $8 movie ticket, two popcorns and two drinks. Please take out a mortgage. Like it's literally
I,
that.
I do have it here. Okay, so someone posted the a photo of it, and I think the most egregious one is the combo four, which is two popcorns and two fountain pops for $36.50. Like two two sodas and two things of popcorn literally cost the Oilers probably like 75 cents to make at max. Like
With regular concession prices, which are already overblown, that should be absolute max 20 to $25. Like that's such an inflation of like percentage wise of what they're actually worth versus what they charge. Like I find that Canada Life Center prices are pretty outrageous.
yeah.
A drink of that size, yeah,
Dude,
probably I
no,
think it's
okay,
like
sorry.
5.25 or something like that.
Sorry, I need to cut you off. You said $25. No, like that should be like even if those were $4 each. Like a
No,
thing of
with regular concession prices,
like it should be
it
20
would be like
bucks at
$5
max.
each. Yeah.
It should be 20 bucks. Like it's four items, $5
Oh, it
each.
should be like 10, but
Well,
like
I know, but
looking
like
realistically,
can
like what are they
yeah,
charging for an individual drink?
I wish it was up here because but like we can probably deduce that a regular drink would be like $10 almost, right?
Which
No,
is
no, 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 no.
nuts.
No, no. It'd be like 750. 750 is 15 and then that leaves like 20 bucks for two popcorns, two $10 popcorns. What a joke. Like
That's
that's
bonkers.
insane. I'm trying to see
Like the
any other ones.
accessibility level of sports is getting like worse and worse. And I'm like, man, oh man, like this is
They
just trash.
the funny thing is with this they have a photo too. So there's one that's it's an all beef hot dog. It is $8.25 and it looks like a hot dog you would get at like a 7-Eleven, like off the
Like a top
rollers.
dog type of thing.
Yeah, like like these look like the hot dogs you used to get at Max for 50 cents. Like insane.
Trash.
Chicken tenders and fries for 17.50. Like is this a five-star restaurant? And the funny thing too is like the photos do not look appetizing. Like brutal.
It's like we know you have the margins now, bro. Put some money into your marketing. My God.
They might as well just be saying like we need to pay Connor McDavid in 2 years, please God
No,
help
just
us.
like all in all, it's like man, oh man, like can you imagine like a team that's making it so hard for you to be a fan? It's like, oh, you wanna, you're interested in learning a little bit more than the average person about the team. Okay, $9 a month, please. Like my God,
The-
like get
it
out of here.
this screams to me we finally have fans and a reason to come to watch our games, so we are going to gouge you as much as we can. Like the, have you ever so do you know Nathan Fielder, like the Nathan For You show or the rehearsal or anything like that?
I've heard of it, not familiar.
Okay, so his old show Nathan For You, he would basically come up with these wacky, crazy business ideas, and one of them he had was trying to sell chili at a hot dog game. So he makes like this suit that is insulated that like can store chili in it, and then like serve it out of like the sleeve of it, and he just goes around being like, would you like to buy chili for $2? And he has his other sleeve where he can dispense out like sour cream and like cheese and
Oh
shit
my
like that.
god.
And this just actually I think he even does this at a Bakersfield Condor uh game, which is the Oilers affiliate, which is very funny. Point is, if anyone wants to try and do that again, I think the Oilers, you might be able to get some decent sales, because it's the only thing that is going to cost you less than an arm and a leg.
Yeah, no, that's so bad. Like that's so bad. And I also think it's the kind of thing where it's like just like we know that the cups that they use, the straws, the lids are the same as like McDonald's. And you know the
Yeah,
fountain
dollar
thing
drink
is the
days.
same as McDonald's. Dollar drink days, and they still make a profit on that. Like that like and I've talked about it before, like on in different contexts with like, for example, like a junior chicken from McDonald's, like it used to be like $2 and now it's like 3.50 or something. It's like, okay, that's, $1.50. It's not a lot of money, but like percentage wise, the inflation and the markup on the individual item is bonkers. Like I don't think it's absurd to charge like, $4 more for something than it's actually worth. When that's like, I don't even know. I can't even do the math of what percent that is. It's like thousands of percent of how much it's actually worth. It's insane.
It's the you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about, and it's a photo of the Oilers concessions and the Costco hot dog and a soda combo for $1.50.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I and again, it's the classic quote that everyone always mentions about the Costco founder, where he literally says to the CEO, "I will kill you if you raise the hot dog prices." Man, the exact opposite thing going on in Edmonton. But I think we can probably move on from the Oilers gouging everyone.
Yeah, no, that's just bonkers. And it is the kind of thing where it's like, I know my hockey team would do that to me too. So I need to be careful because if my
Liz,
team ever gets good,
we
they'll do it to me too.
this is why we need to push back. We can't allow this.
No, absolutely not. I will, yeah. I don't know
um,
what I'll do if that ever happens, but if they
yeah.
try and make me pay X number of dollars a month for like Paul Maurice sound bites, I'm out, man. I'm done.
What are you, a Panthers fan now?
You know what I
um,
mean.
yeah. Anyways, Liz, I'm happy, not happy, not actually happy. Um, but
I'm sad,
I'm
actually.
sad to announce that we have our first jersey burning of the season and our first debris and stuff being thrown onto the ice at a game. Ladies and gentlemen, this one hurts my heart as I grew up a Canucks fan. The Vancouver Canucks, boy oh boy, are they're I think they're the new Senators. They're the dumpster fire of the league right now. Nothing's going
Yeah,
right for
it's so
them.
funny. I was talking to my friend the other day about football, and I was like, "Man, why are we at like week 4 and there's not a single undefeated NFL team right now? Like, or pardon me, a single like 0-4 NFL team right now." I'm like, "It's so fun. Like, where are the 0-17 Cleveland Browns when you need them? Like, come on. Like, where's we?" And yeah, so like, the NFL made it to like the third week, like 3 games, and every team had at least won a game this year.
Mhm.
NHL, not so much. Vancouver, you know, good for them, secured a point against the, powerhouse that is the Columbus Blue Jackets, but other than that, you know, they're struggling out there.
They're 0-4-2. I think they're bottom of the league technically. They have 2 points.
Oh,
I
San
guess
Jose, I think, is below them theoretically because they have more losses.
nope. San Jose is higher. They have 4 points. The Ducks are
Oh,
higher.
did they win tonight then? Or
I guess so.
something?
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know.
But I'm
I
looking at it
checked
right
earlier and
now.
I thought they were.
Right now, the Canucks have 2 points. The only other team with 2 points is the Coyotes.
Yeah, San Jose won
And
this evening. Good for them. Congrats.
yeah, hell yeah, congrats. They beat what? Who? The Flyers, I think. Um, the wagon, Philadelphia Flyers. Um,
Wagon is off the rails.
yeah, it's things are not going well in Vancouver, and like honestly, like there's just a lot of little things. Like obviously, like Niels Hoglander gets sent down to the AHL. He's obviously back now, but
So
like
messed.
that's just a really odd move.
What would you make that like the equivalent on another team? Like, would that be like it's almost like if they were to
that
send down like the Senators sent down like
that'd be
Josh
like
Norris or something?
no,
Like,
no, no, no. Josh Norris
not
is like
that
their
good.
no, no, no. That would be like if like the Jets sent down like Appleton, where it's like that just doesn't make sense. Like it
I
like
feel like it's worse than the Jets sending down Appleton.
is it? Like I don't know. It would be like sending down Lowry. That I think that's a good compare. I don't know. Anyways,
It's
it's
gotta
like
be someone who's young. I don't know. I'm
a
trying to think. I was leaning more towards like a youth perspective of it, of like you're young, you're only a player that's got some potential. Well, not only, but you know what I mean? Like it's just it doesn't make sense across the board. It just doesn't. I don't get
yeah.
it.
I think that's I think we're kind of burying the lead here. Like honestly, it's been really a weird like past couple like since the start of the off season for the Canucks cuz like coming into the off season, they had obviously last year the whole coaching thing with Travis Green. Finally he gets canned. They bring in Bruce Boudreau. Bruce, there it is. Everyone's
The
having
vibes are
fun
fantastic for like 5 minutes. Yeah.
and they finished off the season doing pretty well, and then like going to the off season, things started to seem weird when it was like, oh, Bruce Boudreau's not really getting a contract, and he's like, I want a couple years, like I showed that I was good enough here. But then obviously I can't remember what he signed, if he signed for a multi-year or a single. I think he only signed for a single year, but they reluctantly brought him back. And then now you get to this point where like yesterday, Jim Rutherford went on to After Hours with Scott Oak and basically almost said like I didn't really want to bring back Boudreaux. Like he didn't say that exactly in those words, but
But
like
they never do say things like that, so it's like you have to read into it a little bit because they'll never outright say it, but it's pretty clear when that's what they mean.
yeah, he had a couple quotes I'll bring up here. So he goes, when you have injuries, you've got to have the next man up and have to be ready to go. I believe I believe if our team has a really strong structure, you can play through those things. When you start talking about injuries, you're admitting you're a losing team. I don't like it. I don't like using that as an excuse. We all have to be better. We have to use the players we've got, and we have to play within a stronger structure to make that game easier. So basically, critiquing the Bruce Boudreau coaching
The
structure.
structure, yeah, and the person who
Um,
is in charge of the structure, for sure.
yeah. And then the other one I want to say that kind of leans into that potential, issue with Boudreaux. I mean, so he had the other quote where he's saying, "I'm the same as the fans, and everybody's getting frustrating, and it's hard to watch." And then he goes on to say, "We didn't have a very good camp, and it's carried over into the season. We have a lot of bad habits." So a lot of critiques of Bruce Boudreaux there, and it's is Bruce Boudreaux gonna either one get canned or two pull a Paul Maurice and just walk out? Like,
It's coming. Oh, it is. Like it's such a and to me the thing is like no, I'm all about sample size, right? And it's like, oh, like 5, 6 games, whatever is not enough. But it's like with all the weirdness leading up to it, like to me, it is enough that
yeah.
one of those individuals or both would want to part ways.
hmm And like, yeah, absolutely. And going back to just like the weird off season, like obviously they have the whole, are we going to trade JT Miller? Are we going to keep him? We're going to our last year of his deal. And then finally they decide, we're not going to get enough for him in a trade. So they decide to extend him 7 years at 8 mil with like a no move clause for the first 4 years and then a modified no trade for like the last 3 years. And then JT Miller starts this season and he has been brutal. Like he's been so bad. He's had like a numerous amount of like controller disconnected memes where it just looks like he's not trying whatsoever. Um
Gotta
like
say, personally, I do love though that a couple days, weeks before the season started, that picture came out of him at a golf tournament wearing the Blue Lives Matter thin blue line like
oh
hat.
yeah.
So now it's like I feel absolute no remorse for everyone just dogpiling on him because I think it's funny. So
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
had to throw that in there. Vibes
I
are awful.
Yeah, I'm looking at this from a Canucks perspective because again, like I said, they are a little near and dear to my heart. I still will never forgive them for 2011 losing to the Bruins, but I still have a special place for them. But yeah, like I just don't get it. Like already we're how many games, like 6 games into the season, and even before that, I was seeing like Canucks fans tweeting out being like, what picks are we gonna have to add to offload JT Miller's contract? Like already, you just signed him to an extension. That extension? No, that extension hasn't even
Hasn't
kicked
kicked
in.
in yet. Yeah,
That's
and
next year.
that's like it's like Seth Jones bad at that point when you have people who know what they're talking about or like who are, self-aware, who are like, yeah, what picks are we gonna have to include to offload this eventually? Because like you understand that like not a great deal. To be fair, I didn't think it was gonna look this bad.
Yeah, like,
I don't think anyone did.
and that's the thing too. Like, I can't remember about you, but like I had them just missing playoffs. I think in our
Something like that.
previews, or like either just making or just missing. I think I had them
I
just
had him
missing.
missing, but not by a ton.
No. And like it's just something's got to give in Vancouver because like even Bo Horvat, their captain, had like some pretty wild quotes today because like obviously they had a jersey thrown onto the ice, and so he had this in response to that. He goes, my jersey got thrown on the ice last year, and I'll never forget that as long as I play. It's something that hits home, and when you see it happening again this year, it definitely sucks. But I understand their frustration. And then this is my favorite part. This is insane that a captain is saying this. We haven't really given them much to cheer about. It's been a lot of years in the rebuild stage, and at this point in the season, it just feels like it's never going to happen. Like we're never going to win again. What?
That's crazy. It's
Like,
an 82 game season, and if you're so disheartened that you're feeling that you're never going to win again, he obviously knows they will, but if that's actually how bad it is, that you're at the point where you're feeling that, not just feeling it, but saying it,
yeah,
woof.
like something's got to give. Also, he's just to add a little fuel onto the fire. He's a UFA at the end of the season. So like,
Oh,
is
he's out of there. He's out of there.
I mean like, what do you do? Like, what are the Canucks to do right now? Like, just try and like retool, rebuild because they like still have some really good pieces. Like Pedersen, they've got Quinn Hughes, they've got um Andre Kuzmenko looks like a great player. Connor Garland's a piece that either if you want to try and do a retool, like he's a guy that you definitely could move, but also I think he's a really good player, so I would hold on to them if I was him. They just signed Ilya Mikheyev. Their defense is is insane, and then they have like Thatcher Demko, who like could one day be a Vezina like goalie. Like he's good. He's really good. I have
Team
him.
is just stinky.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. And then they're not playing Jack Rathbone, so like that kind of we can all relate to that as Jets fans watching your best defensive prospect not really getting the minutes he deserves.
Yeah, no sympathy from me.
I gotta bring up this tweet. Give me a second. Sorry. Cover for me. Cover for me.
While you're looking for a tweet, they also have noted Jets alum Tyler Myers and Tucker Pullman hanging out on the back end, so like that on its own.
Man,
Yikes.
the Canucks are to the Jets what the Oilers are to the Leafs, where they just go like, "Oh, you're a bad defenseman who left. We'll take them." Okay, I have this also too. Obviously, Jason Dickinson played for the Canucks last year, and just a comparison: Jason Dickinson, 3 games, 4 points, 2 of them are goals. JT Miller, 6 games, twice as many games, 3 points, 1 less than Dickinson, and 2 of them are goals. How is the guy that you extended for 7 years, $8 million have less points, same amount of goals in twice as many games as Jason Dickinson, who is once again playing on the Chicago
Blackhawks.
like how man, brutal. I feel for Canucks fans. I hope something happens. I hope they turn it around cuz like I said, they're a fun team, but like man, it's
Just
really
a nightmare
sad.
over there. But like a lot of teams go through that phase. The Senators, maybe this is a good segue to move
Oh
into some
yeah.
more positive things going on in the league. Like, they were there. It was just nightmare after nightmare for that team for a stretch, but they look like they're having some fun out there. I'm still not a believer that they're at their moment yet, but I when I spoke about Josh Norris earlier, I was definitely making light of the impact that that kid can have on his team because man, oh man, that's a good little hockey player. And they have a bunch of those guys on that team that are when they're firing in all cylinders, like holy cow, that's a fun crew.
Yeah. No, the Sens are looking. It's still funny, as we said a couple episodes ago. Like it's funny looking at the standings in the NHL and just seeing like the Lightning are second last in the division. But like shout out also to like the Sabres. Eric Comrie. We got to give props to Eric Comrie. That guy is a player, and I'm very happy to see he's doing well in Buffalo.
Oh, absolutely. And it's Buffalo too. Like the fact that he's winning games and doing well in Buffalo. Like, good goalies are good goalies, bad goalies are bad goalies, but teams have a huge impact on goalie results, and
Mhm.
that's just the way it is. And he doesn't have a good team, and he's doing really well, so I'm really happy for him.
I mean, who knows? Maybe the Sabres are actually good. Hashtag are they hashtag actually good? I don't think they
Hashtag are
are.
they a wagon?
Maybe.
They are a wagon.
Yeah.
Buffalo Sabres coming in hot. Where's Editor and Saber, my favorite Twitter account?
Yeah.
So
True.
good. And they're like,
Um
yeah, at this point, Owen Power has to be second in the Norris rankings, right behind Rasmus Dahlin, right? And you're like, oh, really? Yeah, sounds great.
Calder.
But the only looking at like you're saying, skewed standings and whatnot, there are, I think, only three teams that are left undefeated in the NHL that don't have a regulation loss, and that would be the Stars, Blues, and Pens. Is that who you would have pegged as being the undefeated teams a couple weeks ago?
Are we talking just regulation or losses at all? Cuz
They have a couple of overtime losses each, I think, or
I
one or
know.
two
Okay,
maybe.
so the Penguins have one OTL. A team that doesn't have a regulation loss. Also, the Red Wings don't have a regulation loss, but they have two overtime losses.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But the Stars
Really?
look good. Man, the Stars actually look kind of
Stars do
good.
look good.
Which
They do look
kind
good.
of worries me. They've got really good goaltending, and like I think Scott Wedgwood is a really good backup. So, having
Scott Wedgwood was a World Junior legend when Mark Scheifele was on the team, so like that was like in like 2011 or something. So
yeah, the
that's
Blues are undefeated, still don't have any loss whatsoever. But they've also
oof.
only played 3 games. It's crazy that they've only played 3 games, and the Preds have played like 7. Kraken's played 7. Kings played 7. Sharks have played 8. Like, I
Yeah,
man, the
it'll
scheduling is just
balance out
wild.
eventually, but it's weird for now. And it's like not even like you can blame fully the global series at this point because the Kraken have the same. Or wait, no, the Kraken did play global.
No,
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 who?
it was
Oh, the other global
the
series hasn't
Sharks
happened
and
yet. That's why. Never
yeah,
mind. Just
yeah.
ignore everything I'm saying ever.
Just
But
don't listen to me ever.
it's not a great theory to go off with when you have a podcast, but just don't listen to me. But yeah, like Nashville having the same amount of games as like Seattle, and then San Jose having one more game than them, and their teams, like the Blues have 3 games. That's just weird.
Yeah. Yep,
But whatever.
absolutely.
Who
I don't have
cares?
anything
The
else to
NHL
say.
is weird.
I don't have anything else to say about that. Do we want to move into the fun part of our episode? We don't have a game.
I think we have to,
We don't
because
have a
our last segment is the game.
yeah.
We have a lot of opinions coming in your way.
We are gonna go through the reverse retro jerseys, and we will be ranking them. So the way we're gonna do this, we've got a tier list that we'll be doing. But the thing is, Lyss and I haven't spoke too much about our opinions on the jerseys. We had a brief little chat before when we were getting everything set up. But I think that this one's going to be some fighting between us because I have some takes, Lyss has some takes, but we agree on where we are going to rank them. So we're just going to do a standard S, A, B, C, D, and F ranking. Um, but yeah, I guess let's start them off with.
I need to preface this first, though, by saying that I am not a jersey person.
Mhm.
I have the worst jersey opinions ever. Like, some people are like factoring in like color balances and then also like history of teams and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, if I look at it and I think it's nice, then it's a good jersey. So I will say I'm not, overly, you know, too crazy about jerseys in general. I'm not like a huge jersey person. That being said, I feel very strongly about a lot of these simply
They're
because I do or do not like them. So
you're allowed to have takes. Everyone can look. I mean, these are basically fashion like items. I will say I'm glad that the league brought this back. I'm a jersey head, as you can probably see behind me. But also, if you want, on our YouTube version, we actually have like the tier list up. So if you're listening to this and actually would like to see a visual representation of how we are ranking them, feel free to check it out. Anyways, we will jump into this now with the Anaheim Ducks. We're gonna do it alphabetically. Lyss, I'll let you take your take on this one first, because I know.
I love this jersey. I love, 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 love this jersey, and I think it's actually one of my favorites. And I mentioned that briefly, and Brady had a freak out, and I was like, wait, let's save it for the show. And part of where we differ so greatly on this is that I love white jerseys. Hot take. I think I like pretty much every team in the league's white jerseys better than their dark ones. Like Winnipeg Jets, regular jersey, like the white ones better than the dark ones. Heritage jersey, like the white ones better. Even jerseys I don't like. Chicago Blackhawks, hate the red jerseys. White jerseys, I can vibe with that. Pittsburgh Penguins, love the white jerseys. San Jose Sharks, adore the white jerseys. Every team pretty much in the NHL, I like their whites better than their darks.
I'm shaking my head right now, especially you saying that you prefer the Jets white jersey over the away jersey over the home jersey. That's blasphemy.
Every time.
Our away
Absolutely.
jersey is one of the worst in the leagues, in my opinion. But anyways, I'll also mention my bias. I don't like white jerseys. I think that some are nice, some do them well, but I think that you'll notice in my opinions is that I prefer the jerseys with more color. I like black. I like darker colors. Anyways, let's actually get into this. As you said, you have them near the top. My
I
only
love the interpretation of the old logo, new colors. Love, love, love that. So
okay,
that's kind of my thing on it.
I think that everyone has this jersey so high because the current Ducks jerseys are so ugly and so bad. Their current logo stinks. The trim on their jerseys suck. So I understand why everyone likes them. I like this jersey, but I personally would have loved to see them actually really honor the colors that they had back in the day. Um, I would have loved to see basically their old home jersey just reversed, having like the teal as the base and like the eggplant as like the striping. I think that would have looked really really cool. I don't mind this version of it, but we've seen this style of like using these colors with the old logo with the Mighty Ducks logo. But uh
Yeah, like I agree with that, and I think it's fine. I just also like a little bit of not creativity exactly, but like, going if you're going with the old logo, use the new colors, remix it, girl. Like that sounds fun to me. Like I don't mind, pulling a bit from different jerseys to make something that looks kind of nice. I like it.
okay, so where would you put this? We got to get these on the we got to get on the board here.
For jersey, it goes in my top tier. But you don't like it. So
So
it
you
needs to be in the top half for
you
me. It has to.
you say it's S tier, right?
Yes.
Okay. I on
Actually, you
my
know what? I would say a hot take. I don't think any of these jerseys are actually S tier, but if I had to put some in the S tier, it's that one.
Okay, I had it on mine in C, but I am willing to go up to B at
B, I
most.
will take.
You're
B,
cool
I
with
will
B?
take.
Okay, okay.
I'm fine with it.
So Anaheim Ducks B. All right. On to the burnt orange Arizona jersey. My personal take, I really like this color. It's a really interesting color. I like that they kind of went with this kind of monotone or mono, I don't know exactly how to explain it. A bunch of different shades of orange on it, but I also think that the cactuses and stuff don't really stick out on the bottom. I like this
No,
one.
yeah.
I think this is in my upper echelon. I think in my tier list I have it in an A. But
I would
your
vibe with
take.
this one in an A too for sure. I love the colors. I just think they're a little bit more unique. Like I'm so sick of red, white, and blue jerseys. I can't deal with them anymore. They're so played out. So I love how it's just I don't know, a little bit different. I think it's a bit busy on the bottom, which
Yeah.
I've never really liked because when players like tuck their jerseys and stuff, it's like, well, there goes all of the niceness of it. That's why I like having good shoulders and things like that on a jersey because I think it's nicer. So I do think it's lacking a little bit of that, but like I like it. I like, leaning into the whole desert thing. I like using their logo
The
because I don't love this logo as much as everyone else does, which is also a hot take, but people like it, so I'm glad they're using it.
I just think the only thing I think it loses points for is that they did this exact jersey last year except with purple, and the purple looked
Hmm.
crazy and was insane and I loved it.
That was so
Um
nice.
but anyways, I think we're both good in agreement with A, so we'll leave it there.
Here she
Okay.
goes, yeah.
Okay. Liz, why don't you give everyone your brutal take on the Boston Bruins Pooh Bear jersey remix? What do you think about it, Liz?
I'll give you three words. I hate it. I think it stinks. I hate it.
This one I am so upset with you. I cannot tell you how wrong you are. The Pooh Bear jersey is incredible. The original yellow one, beautiful. It I think the yellow was a bit abrasive, But this on a white, if I'm gonna say that, again, a guy who doesn't like the white jerseys as much, this Pooh Bear jersey, absolute S tier. Beautiful. If there's just a silly little guy on the front, he's just so. I just want to give him a little hug.
No,
But he's
he's
also
spooky
like,
looking.
oh my
I don't
king.
like him.
No, no, no.
Okay, here's my beef with this jersey. I like the bottom. I think it looks kind of neat. I think the shoulder patches are ugly. I think the logo is ugly, and I like the numbers, but that's about
I'm
it. I
so
don't
upset
like the
with you.
logo at all. It's huge. It's weird. Like I don't, and again, maybe I don't have an appreciation for alternate logos and stuff like that. I think it's a hideous logo. I
It's
think it sucks.
so it's so nice, and it's nice to see something other than the winged, or so not the winged wheel, the spoked bee. But
Oh
like,
yeah, no, definitely.
I this for me, this is an S tier for me. Like this is an absolute S tier jersey.
I
Uh,
absolutely cannot allow us to put it in S tier. I know
I
how passionate you are about this one. I can't put it in S
I
tier.
I
I
will
can't.
not go lower than A. I'm sorry, I will not. I'm
Okay,
the
we
one.
can put it in A, that's fine, as long as I know that you're not satisfied, because I don't want you to be happy.
I'm not. This is
I
an
hate this jersey. I hate it. When I ranked them earlier, this got number 31 for me. I hate it.
what? That means you had one of Chicago or Detroit ahead of it.
Oh yeah, brother.
Uh, Okay. Can anyone get me a new podcast co-host? I'm in searching of a new one. I think I'm
Yeah.
firing Lyss. This is
We
the
might be parting ways mutually.
five
Please
eps.
respect our privacy at this time
We got 5 episodes out of this, and that's it.
before a new onslaught of jerseys just ruined our relationship.
Yeah, honestly. Okay, now we get onto the Chicago jersey.
No.
You want to give your take first? Well,
Buffalo. Buffalo.
oh, where's where's the Buffalo jersey here? Oh, it got I don't know why it's moved back. Okay, we're doing Buffalo. Sorry,
I like buffaloes. I think it's nice.
I like Buffaloes too, but I it would have been a lot cooler had they not actually brought back the real goat head jersey as like an alternate. Because I think that kind of takes away from this one. My biggest gripe with
Fair.
it is that the yellow and the blue are just they don't show up well on the white. Um, so in my
I
opinion,
feel like it would have been better to have another blue outline around that yellow or something, because yellow on white is awful.
it just doesn't show up, and also the actual logo itself is still white, so it just doesn't really pop that well in my opinion. And also, again, a lot of the like coolness of them bringing back the goat head is gone from because they are already bringing it back in the actual good version of this jersey. So I have this one
Yeah, no,
personally.
that's fair.
I have this one personally in like honestly, I had it in B. I'm looking at it now and I'm like, I think this is a C. But
I
what's your
would
take?
want to put it in B too. I think that this one would be nicer. Again, I don't like white shoulders. If it's a white jersey, it needs shoulder something or other. And I also like I have so many things that factor into all these different things. I also hate Buffalo's jerseys. The royal blue with that logo, I just don't think is
Uh
pretty. I
I
don't like
so
it.
beyond disagree. I think they have some of the nicest jerseys in the league.
Looks
There's
like IKEA out there, man. Like
uh,
I'm just kind of like, okay, like I
oh
don't know,
man,
not a fan. So
cry
I
about it.
like this jersey a lot. I like see, and I'm not, overly passionate or anything, but I think the logo is really nice. And like you said, I kind of forgot that they already brought this one back, so that's why it's like the wow factor for me is
Yeah.
probably a little bit different for you because again, my jersey history is not quite, brushed up to the degree we might like it to be, but I like it.
Okay. Oh, also, do we want to like in between like in the tiers rank them themselves also? Like we
Yeah, I
can.
was thinking probably, yeah.
Okay. Do you have the Buffalo one ahead of the Ducks one? No, you don't.
No.
Okay. And as I look at them here, I think I would take the Ducks one over the Buffalo one as well. I will be putting the Pooh Bear at the front of A. I'm sorry, I have to put it above the Arizona
Hate
jersey.
this.
Is that okay with you? Are you upset?
Ugh,
Are you upset? Because I'm
yeah.
upset. I'm upset too.
I think we're
So
gonna be both upset by the end of this, so you know what? You have that. You need a win today.
yeah, I do. I
I don't
guess
know why. I just get you do.
yeah. I think the order I have it here. Technically, next it should be Calgary, right?
Well, yes.
Okay. So Calgary, we get a remix of the pedestal jersey, and it's black now. um, I'll let you give your take on this one here.
I won't lose sleep over this jersey, but I don't like it. I okay, so I preferred when their old jerseys when it was that red with the black logo and stuff like that. So I like the black, like I like it better than the white and the yellow and the red. I just find that too
Wait,
light and I don't
you
love it.
you don't like their current home jerseys?
No.
Liz, Liz, I'm like
I
you're
told you I
you're
have really bad jersey take.
you're killing me here. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're
no, I
you're
don't like
killing me
them.
here. I genuinely like with my whole heart think that Calgary might have some of the nicest jerseys in the league, including their whites. They have the nicest white jersey in the league by far.
I don't know about that. Interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
they're so
Well,
nice. They're
anyways,
so
no.
chef's kiss.
I like black on jerseys. I think it's sharp. I think it's nice. I just hate the bottom of this jersey. I think
Yeah,
it looks hideous. So
it's
that's why it loses all of its marks for me. I like the numbers. I like the white with the yellow around it on the black. Like I think it looks great. The red shoulder is very nice. Like the neckline, the bottom stinks and ruins the whole jersey for me.
all right. Where would you rank it? So before I give my take,
I give it like
is it
what is
above?
it?
Is
A
it
C
above
tier.
C
It
tier?
goes
It's
C tier for me.
so. Would you say it's below the Buffalo jersey?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I think C tier is fair for this. I actually do like the jersey, but I think the pedestal thing is interesting, but I also do get why some people are like it just looks like someone made a design mistake and didn't fix it. So,
Right.
um
No, genuinely.
I think it would look really interesting if the C was actually like red. I think that would lend closer to this color palette if you just
Yeah.
kept it red and black, but
The
uh
white's pretty aggressive.
yeah, but I'm not losing sleep over it. I think C's a perfectly fine ranking for it. C for Calgary. Cool with me. Okay, on to the Carolina Hurricanes. Yeah, I'm gonna give my take first on this one. I am so goddamn sick of wordmark jerseys. I'm so sick of the like Rangers like descending like how would you describe it? Like not vertical, not horizontal, cross.
Diagonal font, like, or
Jesus, thank you.
something.
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the word diagonal. I'm so
I'm
done
just
with
so cut
it.
off about all my bad opinions so far, you just
I
can't
am.
even think.
I think the Rangers are allowed to do it because they are the ones who did it. But I hate this I hate the original version of this jersey, which is just the Hurricanes white like home jerseys. I think putting canes across it is dumb. Like it reminds me of like the Bolts Tampa jersey that they had where it just said Bolts across it. Bad.
Bad.
In my opinion, this is easily one of the worst. I would put this in D, maybe even F. Like
Yeah,
I
I
F.
absolutely DRF is fine with me. I am also very sick of to me it's lazy. Like, can't think of a good logo. Done. Letter print.
Yeah.
Ugly. I hate it. I think it stinks. The one thing I will say is that growing up, the sports team that I played for, we had Carolina Hurricane spoof jerseys, so
Me
those
too.
gray boxes on the bottom. Anytime I have the gray box bottom, I'm like, I love this jersey.
The like
But it's just
storm. Yeah.
because I'm biased. I think it sucks. I hate, and I also red jerseys. I feel like they're just I'm so done with them. So I'm automatically like, if this was like a teal jersey with a nice like clean cut letter mark, I would maybe put it a little bit higher or something. So I don't know, but letters bad, red bad, boring,
Yeah.
lazy bad.
And also the thing is, it's like it would be different if, like, for example, like I, as a Jets fan, we've clamored for them to use red, and if the Jets jersey was red, I would be excited because
Totally.
red isn't part of their like the regular like primary colors.
Exactly.
The
Yeah, yeah. No,
Hurricanes,
that's
this
totally.
this is just an away version, like sorry, a color like red version of their home jersey, which red is one of their old color. Like this just looks like they completed their set, which is brutal. So, my opinion, I would be totally cool with F. I could see it maybe in D, but F is like this one, just boring. No, not like not original. Just yeah, I don't know. Your
Yeah,
call.
it sucks. I and I also I when we used to have a podcast that we would talk about there's CMAC, gotta give shout out CMAC. He said this once and I honestly like I he's like, oh, people always say this, and I hadn't real I'd never heard anyone say this, but I totally agree. It's like a good logo is one that you should be able to doodle. And I fully agree. Like when logos get too complex and weird, I don't think they're good logos at that point. I don't think if your jersey you have to look at all the small details, don't love it. And I fully
I
agree with him.
I
Like
just
Boston Bruins love, Calgary Flames love.
I my one rebuttal to that statement, I think in general, sure. My one rebuttal to that statement is the current Panthers jersey or logo is easier to draw than their old logo, but their old logo is so beyond way better.
Yeah,
With
that's a
the
good
the
point.
cat
Yeah, no,
coming at
that's
the
fair.
so that's
Yeah, the
that's
cat
my
coming out of the
rebuttal.
jersey is nice. Yeah.
But anyways, so you agree F for this
Anyways.
Canes jersey?
Yes, I would agree. And so I was just gonna say, be able to draw it, but letters to me are not a logo.
Yeah,
That's just a jersey and it's ugly.
it's boring. Okay, cool. Speaking of letters, Chicago, um,
Bad.
bad, brutal, easily one of the worst. Um, I'll give them props for not using a racist logo for this one,
I
but
mean, the bar is on the floor, but like we'll take a win question mark if that's what we want to call it, I
yeah,
guess.
I don't really want to spend a long time on this. This is an F easily, right?
Sure. Good with me. Don't care.
All right. We have the Colorado state flag C for the Avalanche, kind of an homage to the Rockies. What is your thoughts, Liz?
I don't like it.
Whoa, me too. I actually don't like it. I think this is one
Interesting. Okay.
this is one I was excited for when the leaks were coming out, but I think that this one is boring. There's too much space under the C. It would have been cooler if they actually put the Rockies logo on it. They didn't really use the Rockies colors. The colors are weird. I don't know. I just don't really like it that much. It might look better in once they have the full kit, but like boring. Not my thing.
Yeah, no, I don't like it either. And I think like yeah, the colors are weird and I like the idea of their bottom thing there where it comes to a peak in like the
Yep.
middle-ish where it's like, oh, maybe you want to like cool, but the space distribution looks weird with the
Yeah,
logo and I just feel
absolutely.
like there's just a lot of like weirdness going on with that logo and I also find that like the lines on the shoulders and the bottom are super harsh and then the logo is very round and it's just like it doesn't work for me and it's boring. Like it's stinky. So maybe this goes against my saying of, oh, a good logo is one that you can draw because you could draw this, but it's like it's not a thing. It's nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so where would you put this one? Your opinion?
D.
D?
Because
I
to me, it doesn't deserve to be put in with Chicago's.
Yeah, and it doesn't deserve to be with Calgary's either.
Right.
It's C. I would agree. I think in my original one I had this in at the C level, but I think D actually is closer to where I would have it.
Excellent.
Okay, now we get the reversed version of the Columbus Blue Jackets' first ever third jersey, having the black base with the or the blue shoulders rather than the black shoulders and blue base. They also chose a more vibrant blue than what they had previously. Liz, thoughts?
I don't like it.
You don't like it? Okay.
No.
So when this
I
one
won't
first
lose sleep either way over it. I just don't want it very top, very bottom, but like,
for sure. For me, when this one leaked ahead of time and everyone lost their minds on it, I think that it's not as ugly as everyone makes it out to be. I actually think the blue and the black contrast nicely, but they
Mhm.
lose a ton of points for using the exact same logo and not
Yeah.
using the like stinger bug guy
Yeah.
on the jersey. Like that is a logo they haven't used him in a main logo, and it would totally fit this because this is a very '90s style a reverse retro crop. So like I think that would have fit really well in this crop, and so they lose a lot of points for that one. Where do you have this one?
Uh, B, C. I
I
don't
think
care.
I think
C.
C fits better for me. Yeah, above or
Yeah,
below
based on where
Calgary.
we put other stuff. Like it better than Calgary's.
You like it more than Calgary's?
Yeah, I think so, but
I think I like Calgary's more personally, but I will put
okay, that's
it.
fine. I'm cool with it.
You're cool with that? Okay.
I'm
All
looking at
right.
my old rankings and yeah, but
For sure. Okay. Detroit. We get
bad.
the lines. Bad. I will say. Well, this one we don't need to stay on long. I'll say this one gets some points from me for, because I used to play with the jersey this one's based off of in NHL. But otherwise, it is boring and kind of lame. I'm glad that they chose black to use finally, but it would have been cool if they actually just used it on a regular jersey.
The only
Above,
thing I like is the white, like the lettering going across and then hitting the shoulders the same stretch with the
yeah,
white numbers on the black.
yeah.
Kind of nice, but better than Chicago's by a lot. But
Hurricanes.
somehow, even though they're the same jersey, better than the Hurricanes, I think.
Cool. Me too. I agree. All right. On to the
Cool.
Oilers. They rock in
Bad.
the oil drop.
So
Bad.
bad.
Okay. I also a lot of my takes have to do with potential. I loved the original version of this jersey. The orange completely ruins it. I was excited to see it. The orange completely botches it. Liz, where do you have it? We gotta roll through these quicker, I think.
It was my F tier. I had it in F tier. I don't like it at all.
Ooh. I don't think I'd have it in F. I had it in
Higher
B.
than D.
I had it in B. But
Go higher than D.
I'll give it to you on the no higher than D, above or below Colorado's.
You can choose because I chose the tier.
Okay, I'll put it above.
Yeah, I
Okay.
hate it.
Powder blue for Florida. What's your take?
Okay, so I need to give a shout out to my friend Mike. He's MB on hockey on TikTok. And he did his jersey rankings, and the way he spoke about this jersey honestly kind of changed my outlook. At first, I was like kind of like mid about it. I was like, I didn't really feel too strongly about it. But then he was talking about, he's like, Florida's not really a hockey market. This jersey is like not really a hockey jersey. It's great, fits the team, love it. And I thought that was a really interesting take, and I kind of agree. It's a weird jersey, but I like it. I think it's kind of
This
cool.
this is an easy S tier. This is the best jersey by
I
far.
could put an S tier for sure. I like it. I think it's
This
really cool.
It's so nice. I love this logo. I'm so glad they used it. It was always on the shoulder for a while, and then the powder blue, mwah, perfect. Looks so good. This jersey
The one
makes.
thing I would just scrap with over this one. Okay, you finish, and then I'll.
Well, I was just say this jersey just makes me want to have a Corona and sit on the beach and just hang out and soak in the sun. But anyway, sorry, what were you gonna say?
It's a great jersey. It fits the vibe. And I was just gonna say, my one beef with this is I also think that the NHL. So like, I don't know with reverse retros if you're trying to, make your team more marketable, if you're trying to appeal to your current fans by giving them something new or what. I don't know what the goal is, but
Money. Sell
I have
jerseys.
more beef with teams whose jerseys, like if you're a very casual fan, like if I was not a huge hockey person, I knew like most of the teams, whatever. If I looked at this jersey, I would have no idea that it was connected to the Carolina or to, pardon me, the Florida Panthers in any way. The colors aren't super similar. The logo isn't super similar. Like I wouldn't know necessarily if I didn't know
It's
hockey.
got a
Which
palm tree
so
on it though.
I know, but maybe that could be like San Diego or something. Like who knows? It
Yeah,
could be
noted
anywhere.
San Diego. What? Sorry, what is the San Diego? San Diego's NHL
You
team.
know, there are palm trees in Anaheim and, you know,
Fair, but
all of
I
those
I get what
things.
you mean. But
But
it
you know
also
what I
does
mean?
it does. But I mean, it also does kind of have the coloring, and also they used to have like powder blue on some of their old third jerseys. So like
But that's what
I
you're
think it
going with.
fits.
They used to on the old ones every now and then. It's like not everyone's gonna necessarily know that. Like if it's so far off of their current logo or current colors, I don't love it for this purpose. But that's just a personal thing.
All right, fair enough. Um, all right. So, oh, I just realized we skipped over some. Okay, these aren't in exact order. But whatever.
Oh well, who
I
cares?
noticed that we skipped over Dallas. For D. So, Dallas. What was your opinion on the Stars jersey?
Kind of like it. I'm pretty mid on it.
Yeah,
Not strong opinions.
I think it loses points for not doing the like star shape with the gold that they used to have. Like those jerseys, the old like gold with or sorry, the green with the gold and like the star kind of like what's it called? Striping like bottom, I don't piping, I guess you call it. Beautiful jerseys. And they tried to do it last reverse retro, but then they just made it almost an entirely white and silver jersey, so you couldn't really see it. This one, I am glad they went back to the old Stars logo, but it does lose a lot of points for not doing the old piping. I get this, but I do like the black and the green together. I think the white is a
It
little,
gets bonus points for me for not being neon.
yeah, true. Where would you put this one?
Wherever you want to put it.
Yeah, no, I would say this one is like a B. I would say like I would
Yeah,
say that
B.
this is
I'm cool with that.
maybe top of C. Like I feel like it kind of fits in with the Columbus, call or not Colorado, Calgary.
Sure.
I would say this is a B. We can
Bitter.
revise in the
Bitter.
future. Um, all right, L.A. Kings. Liz, go off.
Good.
I know you love this one.
Fantastic. Love, love, love. I love the purple. I love the yellow. The bottom is that piping? Is that what we call it? The bottom
I
of the
think
jersey
so.
is meh. And the only reason this doesn't get number one for me is because it's not as good as their last one, because their last one was number one for me. So good. Love it. Great jersey. I'd
Yeah,
put it S tier.
clean, absolutely great. I had this one personally in A, but also I think that this can fit into S if you really want to. It's beautiful. I don't love white jerseys personally, but I think that this one's fantastic. I'm cool with giving this S, and I'm putting it behind Florida's if that's cool with you.
Fair.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. All right. Hope you're hungry for some Subway. We got the Minnesota North Stars kind of vibe where it's just like the green version of what they did last time. What do you think?
Yeah, my beef with this one is exactly what you just said. It's so lazy. It's the exact same as their last one with the colors flipped. If I was a Minnesota fan, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah.
Don't love it for that purpose.
Yeah, I know some Minnesota fans are really hyped on it because they loved the last jersey, but I think that it works a lot better as a white jersey, rather than the green version of it. Um,
I
but
agree.
but I do think it is in general a good jersey, so I think that it's like a B, I would say.
Okay.
What would you say? What would you say it's at? Would you say lower?
Mm, yeah, I would put it C.
Okay. All right. I think in that case, then the Dallas Stars one needs to come down because I think that this is better than the Stars one.
Okay.
Okay. So
I had
Stars.
them in the same tier when I ranked them, so.
Okay. That's fair. All right. So Stars and Wild in C. All right. Montreal kind of paying homage to the Expos with the powder blue as well. What do you think?
I like it a lot. I think it's a great jersey.
I think it's really good. It's not as good as the Florida one, but it is nice to see them kind of paying homage to the Expos. I wish they had a little bit more of the kind of Expos red color in it, but also
I
it
wish
is,
there was more red on the jersey. I agree. The
yeah.
logo kind of looks isolated on there.
I think that this one's like a B in my opinion, but if
Sure.
you want to fight to put it up in A, what do you think?
I can leave it in a B. I'm okay with that.
Okay, I know that you would put it behind the Anaheim jersey. Is that correct?
Yes.
And would you put it ahead or behind the Buffalo jersey?
Behind.
Behind? Okay, cool. Alrighty then. Nashville Predators. They bring back the mustard cat, but they put it on on their current kind of gold jersey. I'll give my take first. I love the mustard cat. He's crazy, but I wanted to see them use their kind of navy blue. I'm sick of seeing them in yellow. We've seen them in yellow for so long now. I want them to go back to their, or at least use navy blue in like how they used to have it in their kind of inaugural early jerseys. I think that it would have looked a lot better on that, but this one I guess is fine. I think there's also a lot of with the bottom. There's a lot of yellow and like nothing to kind of like no piping basically, nothing to fill up that space. Um, yeah, what do you think?
If you're gonna go with a lot of a color, yellow is not my choice for that.
Yeah,
I also think that Nashville's like navy jerseys with the light gray go crazy. Like those are
yeah,
super
those are
nice.
super nice
So I agree with that, but I do like the logo and I like the jersey generally speaking. I think it's a hit. Like I think it's they passed the test on this one.
for sure. Where would you put this?
A B personally.
I think it's a C. Like I can't.
Mm,
I'm sorry, I can't put this ahead of the Minnesota jersey. Like I know that the Minnesota jersey was lazy, but it's nicer than this jersey in my opinion.
yeah, I guess it depends like kind of what you're like going for. Like yeah, my big thing with the Minnesota one is the laziness, not the
Uh,
look.
yeah, that's fair. You know what?
So
Actually, I can. Mm, I don't know.
I do want to fight you on this one a little bit, but
What do you?
we're
So what do you want
really
it? You
running
what
the
do you?
time on this.
B.
I want it in B.
Okay. All right. Oops. Okay. New Jersey Devils. They use their current logo, but they use the Kansas City Scouts colors. Thoughts?
Find it. I think it's kind of lame. But like as far as like looking at it, it's a clean looking jersey, so like I don't mind it. I just think that there is more potential there.
Clean, boring Burger King is all I can think of. My
Yeah.
opinion. This is a D. I think it's fine. It's a good jersey, but it's clean, but I don't think it's
I'll
nice.
give
And
it
then
a D.
you're cool with that? Okay. I
Being
had
D or clean does not give you, a pass.
fair. I
It's like
agree.
it still sucks.
Um, ahead of Edmonton and Colorado.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Islanders, bring back the fish sticks jersey. Thoughts? Go.
I like it. I think it's a nice jersey.
Yeah, I think it's good, but I think it misses a lot of potential. I'm really sad they took out the teal. I think they modernized it pretty well, but again, losing the teal loses a lot of points for me. Um, and I feel like it was kind of low hanging fruit to do this. Like it was so obvious that they needed to use this jersey.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
my
I
opinion,
like the orange. Just to me, orange is such a bad color, so when you can make it work nicely, it's good. I like the orange on this one.
yeah, I agree. I think this is like a B, a solid B in my
Good.
opinion. Good, cool.
I'll take
Uh,
B.
behind Anaheim,
Yes.
Buffalo,
Yep.
Montreal,
Ahead of Montreal for me.
ahead of Montreal, and ahead of Nashville.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. New York Rangers. They bring back Lady Liberty with with their current blue and red rather than the navy blue. Thoughts?
The logo piece, love. Think
Mhm.
it's a good logo. Think they did it well. I don't like the sleeves, the shoulders, the piping at the bottom. I think all of that could have been reworked a little better. So I don't really know where I put it. I have beef with it, but I also like the logo a lot. So
That's fair. I think I think it was good, but also I think the blue is really aggressive for this jersey. Like it's just a lot of blue, and it contrasts really weird with the logo. But I think it is all around
and
good.
yeah, it does contrast weird with the logo.
All
Love to
around,
see it like on a
yeah.
red or something would be kind of cool. But
Yeah, I think this one will look really good with the full unis. I would be cool with putting this
yes,
in in B. What do you think?
B sounds great.
Okay. Tell me where to stop. Anaheim, Buffalo,
Worse,
Islanders,
worse,
Montreal,
worse,
Nashville.
better.
I agree. That's exactly where I would have put it. Okay.
Excellent.
Ottawa Senators, black. They use the 2D logo, and then they use the weird striping from some of their older jerseys. I personally love this jersey. I saw a lot of people disliking it. I think this one is a hit. This one is beautiful.
Don't love it.
I love the font. I love on the the numbers and
Hate
the
the font.
oh, it's so nice. Like this one
Yeah.
is I would say like a solid A for me. Um,
Oh God.
I really like this jersey. I like the black. I wish they did something, if they used the old logo it'd be kind of interesting, like the 3D sen. But I think with the 2D logo, I think this one pops really well. But also it
Yeah,
is
I
kind of
don't like the red striping and the font I think is going to be harder to read when the players are on the ice.
oh,
Like
I love it. I have one of these
I
out
have
as an
different beef with it.
that's fair. Where would you put it?
I would put it in like a D, so if you think it's an A, I can compromise on a B for you,
Thank you. And I assume
and
at
you
the
put it wherever you want in there.
okay. It's top of B.
No.
um no. Okay, I'll put Anaheim's ahead
What's
for
top
you.
of B right now?
Anna
Yes,
it
thank
was
God. Okay.
and then but it's definitely ahead of the Buffalo one. Okay,
Okay.
Flyers. One thing I'll say, Cooperalls,
Yeah.
very hype. That's the only good thing about this jersey. Otherwise, boring, shitty, don't like it. Your thoughts?
Agreed. Boring. Don't like it. Like I think it's the kind of thing where it's like again, if I was a casual hockey fan, I'd look at it and be like, "Isn't that the regular jersey right now?"
Yeah.
Like lame. Don't like it.
And
The Cooperalls, you're
I
right.
don't like the way that
Hits are gonna bang.
this yeah, true. The I don't like the way that the I don't know how to describe it. Like the sleeves and the color goes up. Like that was one of the things I always hated about the old Philly
Right,
jerseys.
like curls. Yeah.
Yeah, bad. I would say D, like above Detroit Canes and
Sure.
Chicago, but
D is good.
definitely worse than the other ones there. All right, Pittsburgh Penguins bring back the Robo Penguin. This jersey for me is an S. I fucking love this
This
jersey.
is an S tier jersey. I agree.
Absolutely. Okay,
Love it.
so nice. I wish we could see the fade.
Numbers I don't love, but
It's
the rest of the jersey is so nice. The
it's
logo
fine.
rocks. It's a great jersey.
This could be their regular jersey, and I would be so happy. Um, okay,
Agreed.
as far as S goes,
Flow is better than the tan.
true. Yeah. Would you say that this is above or below the Florida and Kings jerseys?
I say it's below. The Kings jersey is just so good.
Okay, I'll put it there. That's fine. All right, San Jose Sharks. They bring back the California Golden Seals, but they do it in a white jersey. And since you're the white fan, I'll let you speak first.
Don't put this on me. I hate this jersey. I hate this jersey so much. And again, this is the kind of thing where I was saying I'm not a good jersey person because I know California Golden Seals, whatever. The font looks like Sobeys. It's such an empty looking jersey. I hate it. I think it's such an awful jersey.
I think the idea was good. The execution was awful. If you're doing this jersey, they should have done it with the full teal look. Sure, it'll look better
Agreed.
if they do like white gloves and white skates. I think it'll look cool. But this is just
Hmm.
it's just boring. Like, and also like I grew up playing on a team that used the Seals as its like moniker. We used like California or not. We used Carolina colors, but it had the Seals logo. So it's giving me a weird deja vu moment. But also like it's just boring. Like I like what they're going for, but it's just like the execution's poor. I would say this
It's
is
just such
like
a bad jersey.
yeah. I would say this is in D.
Would you
Would
put an F just for me?
F? I can put it F, but we'll put it as the top of F.
Top of F is fine. I just hate it.
I think this is better than the Philly jersey though.
Mm,
What do you think?
I think it's better. I think it's worse than all of them. So I guess what I say doesn't really matter.
No, that's fine. Okay, we can put F. All right, Seattle Kraken released their first third jersey. They kind of pay a little bit of homage to one of the older Seattle teams, but I can't remember which one it is. Lyss, what is your thoughts on this?
I like it. I think it's nice. They don't have a lot to work with not having, deep, rich team history or anything. I think it's kind of a cool. I also like their colors and I like their logo. I would have loved to have seen them use their alternate shoulder patch logo. But that being said, I think it's a nice jersey. Like, I would buy that jersey. Like, I would wear that jersey if I was looking for something nice.
For sure. I think it's done well, and since it's their first third jersey, like they might just keep this even after the reverse retro program. So I think that is cool and well done. I like the teal. I would say it's like a solid middle of the pack jersey, like a B, I would say.
Sure.
What do you
End
think?
of B.
And a B? Sure.
B.
Above or
Okay.
below Nashville though?
Below.
Okay, fine. All right, St. Louis Blues. They use an old unreleased version of their logo that they originally thought up. They put it onto the yellow coloring. The one thing I will say that is a plus that I liked over the Nashville jersey because they're both yellow. They figured out how to use the spacing in the bottom, but I despise the logo. It's awful. The music note looks weird. And again, I don't like word mark jerseys. If a good chunk of it is a word mark, which this one is, it's ugly and it's yellow. So I don't like this one.
It's a terrible jersey. I hate it too.
Yeah, cool. All right, where are you putting it?
E or F.
I think bottom of D. I think at least it has
Bottom of D is perfect.
cool, perfect. Okay, and then probably the most interesting. So bad it's good. The Tampa Bay Lightning bring back their '90s Storm jersey. What's your thoughts on it?
I can't get on board with so bad it's good. I stay with you for so bad and then not, but it's good because
What?
I hate this jersey. I hate it so much.
I
I just like I felt peer pressured when I was making mine to put it a bit higher. I think I hate the rain with like going across the whole thing. I hate the sleeves at the bottom. Like I don't like this jersey at all.
I love this. Did you like the original version of this jersey or no?
Not really. And like I had to look it up because again, I'm not cultured in the world of jerseys and I had to
We're
look it up and I didn't love it, but
this is like the original version of this jersey was like the jersey you always chose when you're playing NHL. If you're playing against the Lightning, so nice. I think this is like I think they biffed a little bit on the execution because it looks really weird with the white and the gray on the shoulders, but I still think
yeah,
it's
they tried so hard to incorporate so many things, like the waves at the bottom, the sleeves being weird, the shoulders being almost the same color as the whole body, the different colored rain, the different fonts, like too much going on this jersey.
I think it could have popped with a little bit of yellow as like accent colors in the jersey,
Yeah,
but
or
like
something.
or if they made like the lightning bolt yellow. I think that the execution wasn't as good as it could have been, but I love this jersey. It
No.
is gorgeous and I will not let you put it any lower than B. I think this is an
Okay,
A.
B is fine. I'll
I
take a
think I
B.
think I think this is an A jersey. Like this is
I'm not putting
above.
this in A. There's no
Okay,
way.
I'm putting it above the Anaheim then.
This is how I go out, okay?
Yeah, this is. Okay, then we get the Leafs jersey, which hey, it's a Leafs jersey. That's for sure.
Well,
um
and it's giving Philadelphia. If I wasn't a hockey fan, I'd look at that and say, "Is that not what they're wearing right at this moment?"
yeah, I think it also loses
There's like an
points.
extra white stripe on there. Okay.
It loses points for the white collar, and it also loses points because the what we all thought it was going to be was like that white jersey. Ugh, I can't remember. It's like prior to the before the pajama jerseys. I don't know. I think the execution isn't as good as it could have been, and it's certainly a Leafs jersey. So I would put this like bottom of C, maybe top of D. What do you think?
Papa D works for me.
I
I
agree.
just think that there's so much potential to make something so much nicer, and they just biff it every time. Like,
That's fair.
I
Okay.
beg you to stray away from your regular royal blue or your logo just one time.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Johnny Canuck. What do we think about this one? This was like one of the first ones that leaked. What are your thoughts on this one?
I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I think it's kind of cool.
I love this jersey. It's so nice. I love the use of, instead of using white, using a bit of like a creamy kind of color. I think them using Johnny
Yes.
Canuck on the front has been long awaited. I actually do like the number on the front too. Like we haven't seen
Me
that in a while.
too.
Someone said it reminds them of like the Reebok Edge era when like the Sabres and like the San Jose Sharks had that on, which makes me kind of
Yeah.
upset. But I think they did it in a way where it's like they're big, it's nice, it's in your face. Like I like it. I think this is by far one of the best jerseys. I have this in S on my own personal ranking. Where do you have it?
I
It,
had
it
it in like the second, third tier on mine, but like I
we
could
can
I could put it in S. I think it's cool. Like, and I think I want to give points for, yeah, like using the logo that people want. Team fits that vibe way better than a bright white, like a stark white would. Like, I just think that there were a lot of things that they could have done very wrong with this jersey that they did not. I like the
mhm.
bottom. I like the sleeves. Like, you know what? I like it. It's good. Put it
Awesome.
bottom of S.
For sure. Perfect. Okay. Then we get to Vegas Golden Knights. Again, how can you reverse retro a team that's only been around for so long? I think that the colors are nice, but again, I just don't like the Jesus diagonal. I remembered it this time. I just don't like the diagonal wording. I think it's cool that it glows in the dark. That'll be a nice little touch for the warm ups and stuff. They said that this is what they if they were alive in the 90s would have they expected their jerseys to look something like, which I think actually gives credence, like gives a bit of credit to the jersey, but I also still think it's kind of boring. What's your thoughts?
I love Vegas's current jerseys. I love like when teams are have no history that they have to like incorporate in things. I feel like, I love Seattle. I love Vegas. I love the way they do a lot of these things. So I feel like, I like their incorporation of, the gold, a little bit of the red in there. I just think it's an ugly jersey. I just wish that they had done better, and I expected better from a team that has such nice stuff to begin with. Um,
I don't
don't
like the
like
gold
it.
jerseys, by the way. I think they're okay.
Oh,
They're just too
no, I
busy.
love their dark jerseys, their
Oh, the
black
oh
jerseys,
the yeah,
and
the gray
their
ones, yeah.
white jerseys.
They're white, yeah, their white
The
jerseys are
white
nice.
jerseys are gorgeous.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think that
Like
this
the
one,
dark gray with the black, I think is so nice.
yeah, I agree. I think that this one deserves to be at like the bottom of C. I think it kind of fits in with, because we have a bunch of black jerseys in C right now. It has like, and
I would
so
say that it's the best of the lettered jerseys.
oh, absolutely, for sure, yeah. Um, I think C. Would you agree? Like, it's above the Leafs jersey for sure, right?
Yes.
Okay, and would
Yeah.
you say it's like, uh, I think it fits in like near around the Calgary jersey, right?
Yeah.
What would you say? Okay, so our
I
our
like it.
tell me if this is worse. So Minnesota,
Yep.
Dallas,
Yep.
Calgary.
I could put it anywhere in there, to be honest
I
with
think
you. I
it's I
could
think
see it.
it's right after Calgary, before Columbus.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then this one, I know you told me already your take on this one, but oh my god, the Screaming Eagle returns in black and gold and blue. I absolutely love this jersey. This is in my S tier. This is easily one of my favorites. And go on, Liz. Tell me your take. Go ahead. What do you think about this one?
I don't like it.
Why
And
not?
okay, so and again, here's my thing. Like, casual hockey fan. What about this is Washington Capitals, unless you know like the intricate history of, their old jersey things, stuff like that. Like, I don't know, the
It
colors,
says
I wish they
Capitals
could have
on it,
incorporated. Yeah, I know, but I also don't like that letter mark on there. Like,
and it's
I
an
think having
eagle.
the letter across the strap on the bottom, weird. Like, I don't like it. I don't like the colors. I wish they had done something a little bit different. Like, I think the shoulders look bare. I don't like this jersey. I don't like this logo to begin with, so I was mad. I knew they were gonna use it, and I was like, "Oh, please don't." And I don't
I'm
like it. I hate the letterhead across the bottom. I hate it.
I'm so upset with you. I love the font on the back. I
Oh,
love the numbers. I love the color. This is beautiful. This is like I would put this above like the Penguins jersey. I would put this above the Kings jersey.
no.
This is like honestly my third favorite
How
jersey.
dare
My
you?
second favorite being like the Pooh Bear jersey, which you already besmirched. This is I will not let this go lower than A. I'm sorry.
You could put this at top of A if you want it at top of A.
Thank you. I'm putting Pooh Bear ahead of it because screw you.
Okay. Okay.
Um, all right, and then we get to the Jets jersey. As we mentioned before, I would love to have seen red incorporated in this. It sucks that the Jets are just ignoring that red exists. Their nicest jersey has red in it. But they decided to use kind of the aviator color palette with the 90s logo. I'm super glad we got the 90s logo back. But yeah, what's your thoughts?
So I actually like this logo better than the regular like heritage one that we use regularly.
Me too.
Where it's got like I think it's really nice, and this is similar, like dead ass. I bet you whoever designed this went to the Saint Eustache hockey arena in rural Manitoba, the little French community where I went to elementary school that has 200 people that live there, and went into their arena and plucked their PB hockey jerseys off the wall and said, "Here we go," because this is exactly what they wear, which is so funny to me. So it's definitely like a sentimental attachment. I would have liked to have seen some red. That being said, I don't know where red would have fit on this particular jersey. I would have liked them to see them go a different route and include red. However, I think this jersey is super clean. I think it's sharp.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll be buying one.
yeah,
That's for sure.
definitely.
Where would you put this letter
I
wise?
would not have bought. I would not have bought reverse retro from last time they did them. So,
Yeah, yeah. I stuck my neck out and
um,
said those other ones were like were clean, but that's doesn't merit a good jersey. Again, yeah.
yeah.
Where would you put this guy?
I like it a lot. It would go probably A tier for me.
A is exactly where I have it as well. Would you put it above
Yeah.
Arizona?
No,
Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay. Then it's at the bottom of A tier. Okay. We are done now. I'm just going to run through our list. If you have any issues with it, please let me know. So we have Florida, LA, Penguins, Vancouver, Bruins, Capitals, Arizona, Winnipeg, Tampa, Anaheim, Sens, Buffalo, Islanders, Montreal, Rangers, Predators, Kraken, Minnesota, Dallas, Calgary, Vegas, Columbus, Toronto, Devils, Edmonton, Colorado, Philadelphia, St. Louis, Sharks, Detroit, Canes, Chicago.
Yeah, honestly, I vibe with that list. Like, I think it's, having Anaheim so much lower than Boston and
Okay,
Washington is paining me.
here
But
I'll make you a concession. We can bump the Anaheim into A if we can bump the Tampa one up into A.
yes.
Is that fair? Would you take
Yeah,
that?
I'll take it. I'll
Okay.
take it. Yeah, let's
Okay,
go.
cool. Okay. All right. Then that because we had a pretty big beat here. Now I think this fits a lot nicer. You know what? I think all around this is a pretty good list in my opinion. I
I've
think
seen worse.
there are some really weird mixes, but I think that this works. Anyways, this has been a long episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Catch us on Twitter at Can't Teach Size, on TikTok at Can't Teach Size, on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, leave us a review. Lyss, do you have anything you want to say before we head out?
Rock on and have a good week.
All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Have a good one. Stay safe. See you next week.